Hey, Scott Barhold here, your profit and growth expert with my QuickBooks Expert and Into the Black Accounting. And today we're going to talk about 10 hacks for your business to put more money in your pocket right now. But first, a disclaimer, the attorneys make me do this. The information contained in this video is for informational purposes only. As I'm not aware of your total individual tax structures and strategies, I do advise you to speak to your tax professional about the things that we'll talk about in here today. Again, I'm Scott Barhold, your profit and growth expert. Before we get started, I need you to acknowledge 5 things with me. Number 1, you're a contract trainer. Number 2, that means that you are a business owner. Say it out loud. I am a business owner. It's important that we understand this. Number 3, you are a home-based business. That's another important thing because that's going to help you with some of these tax strategies that we talk about here today. Number 4, you are in the sales business. Say it nice and loud. I am in the sales business. And then number 5, and I want you to repeat this twice with me, you deserve every tax deduction available to you. So say it out loud. I deserve every tax deduction that is available to me because they're yours to take, right? I deserve every tax deduction that is available to me. And that's what we're going to help you with here today. Starting with number 1. Folks, I've worked with other accounting firms, my own accounting firm. I've worked with H&R Block, and I've worked with some other folks that work with accountants. And the number 1 reason business owners miss tax deductions is because they just forget about them. They don't have a detailed bookkeeping system. Now, you might use a casual approach to your personal finances like an Excel sheet or something, but you can't do that when it comes to a business. The tax law specifically requires certain records in order to take deductions. And without these records being present, without having them, legitimate expenditures that you're entitled to will not be deductible in an IRS audit. So don't lock yourself out. And here's all you need to comply with tax rules. A system to track your income and expenses. This is very easily done with QuickBooks. We can help you with this as well. You need to have procedures to collect and store required receipts and other proof of expenditures. Copies of receipts, and we can show you how to do all this great stuff. You have to set up the filing system to categorize your receipts, related expenses, meals, entertainment costs, and as a business owner, you're entitled to these things. Using your cell phone or tablet. How many times are we out on the road where we're using our cell phone for maps, Google Maps, using your tablet for taking commissions or taking payments and things like that for what we do on the road? Using your cell phone or tablet in conjunction to capturing receipts, getting them into QuickBooks, totally acceptable by not only the IRS, but states as well. You have to keep policies on certain record-keeping things. For example, if you use your personal vehicle for business, how many of you drive to the airport in your personal car? I never got to take that limo, right? Driving to the airport on your way out in that personal car, that's business expense, and you get to take that. So make sure that you have a diary or a logbook. We're going to talk more about the business expenses for personal vehicles in a little bit. If you have employees and you reimburse them for business-related expenses, it must be in writing to explain to them how records must be kept and submitted to your business. This is some of the detailed bookkeeping records that you have to keep. If you have never used QuickBooks before and you'd like to get it set up properly for you, we have an entire system with all the cheat sheets and the videos and all the stuff that goes with it. Just go to the link that's on the screen. By the way, all of the links will be in buttons below the video so that you can go back to them if you don't write them down. But if you've never been with QuickBooks before or you're currently not with QuickBooks, use this link. Now, if you already have QuickBooks but you're not so sure it's set up right or it's not working right for you, there's another link below where you already have QuickBooks and we'll still do a setup for you. It's a great way to get started. Make sure you're on the right foot and you'll have all the cheat sheets and everything else that you need. And the video course, I created a video course to show you how to do this. So this is a very powerful way for you to get started with step 1. Number 2, utilize your home office deduction. One of the acknowledgments I made you do in the beginning, you're a home-based business. You can deduct a portion of personal expenses of a home as a business if you use the home. That means a portion of your rent, a portion of your water, your electric, repairs, right? Your landscaping, if you have a landscaper come in and mow. All those things get partially deducted. Now, there are a few rules, so let's talk about them. You have to use a section of the home regularly and exclusively. So you can't use the dining room table, you can't use the kitchen table, right? In my house, we have a 12 by 12 area. It's not a closed off room, but if you came into my house, you would go, yep, that's the office area. It has my desks, my printers, all my file cabinets are in here, right? This is where I go. It's 12 by 12, it's 144 square feet, and this is where I'm creating this video right now. This is where I do a lot of my scheduling, my contracts. We're going to talk about that, right? Now, it also says it's a place to meet or deal with clients or customers or as a separate structure used in the business, right? You don't have to worry about that. Regularly and exclusively, those are the keys. We have some other keys too. To qualify for a home office deduction, you now need to just pass one of the following 3 tests. Only one. First one, your home office must be either the primary place of your business or where your business is delivered. Contract trainers, that doesn't apply to us, so we don't win that one. Number 2, where you regularly meet with customers or prospects. No, we go there, we travel there. They don't come here, but watch this. Here comes number 3. Where the primary administration or management of your business is conducted. Folks, this is where you're building your speaker pack. You're building your PowerPoint presentations. This is where you're doing your scheduling. This is where you're doing your invoicing. That's the administration and management of your business. Ding, ding, winner, winner, chicken dinner. This is the qualification for you for a home office deduction. And you should take advantage of it. Number 3, utilize travel expenses. Boy, I got to tell you, this is one of the things that I talk to trainers all the time, and it's like a big aha moment. So let's take a look at what the IRS says. Business travelers who are neither government employees nor military may not use per diem for lodging. Okay. So that's not us. However, if you are a sole proprietor, for some of us that's ringing true, a partnership, an LLC, filing as a sole proprietor status, you have the option of deducting government per diem rate for meals and incidental expenses, known as M&IE, as an alternative to claiming 50% of the actual meal costs. Now, let me break that down a little simpler. Let's say you go out on the road and it's a regular work day. You eat breakfast, you spend $10. You eat lunch, you spend $10. You eat dinner, you spend $20. You spent $40 for the day. If you are a traditional person that's turning in your meal receipts for a 50% deduction, you spent $40 and you're letting the government say, well, we'll give you back $20, we'll take $20, and that's not deductible. Well, you can do that if you want to, but that's not the best way. This was designed for folks like us that are required to be away from our house, traveling, doing what we need to do. You use the M&IE, and in most states, not just states, most cities, the lowest amount that you're going to get is $51. Now, we're talking about $20 for a day because you spent $40, you get $20, or smallest cities, $51. Some cities, $78, $102, right? This is just something that if you don't know about it, it costs you money. And the best part of it is your customer, your Semco, supplies all the paperwork you need in the audit. You don't need to keep receipts for your meals. You have to be able to prove in an audit a couple of things. One, you were away on business. That's why you get a speaking itinerary and a travel itinerary. And it was business. How do I know it was business? Because I submitted an invoice for my date and I got paid. That's what makes this all worthwhile. So there's a few things that you can do, and we have the cheat sheets and stuff that we can send you, but this is a powerful tool for you if you're not using it. For myself, each of the last 3 years, it has reduced my taxable income by over $10,000 a year. That was me. I've worked with several other contract trainers where it's reduced their taxable income. We watched one guy, he came to me, he said, Scott, I don't understand why I'm not getting such a big refund back. He was only getting like $2,800, $2,900. We put this back in, and his refund went up over $6,000. Took him 3 hours to do it at the end of the year, but we did it. and he wound up getting more money back. Other trainers I've talked to have been amazed when they're getting $4,000 and $5,000 back. Why? Because this little trick right here can save you thousands of dollars. Utilize the travel expenses. Moving on to number 4, invest in your retirement. Even if you're a long way from retirement age, you should make it a priority to invest as much as you can in your retirement account. Now, why am I saying that? Because a taxable income can strategically reduce your income in a year. Think about it. You make so much money in a year. You take some as income, that's a business expense, and then you as an employee put certain amount of money away towards a 401k, a retirement plan, whatever it is. And if your company matches within legal guidelines, that's a deduction for the business as well. That tax doesn't get paid now, and it doesn't count on your income tax on your W-2 because it's tax deferred. You only pay the taxes when money is withdrawn at retirement age. I mean, this is money that you can get to save. It works really, really well. Now, how much a small business owner can contribute to these retirement and savings accounts varies by the taxpayer and their age. So again, talk to your tax advisor. This is a very powerful tool if you use it. So that's number 4. Moving on. Oh, I just said that. So that was number 4. Moving on. Number 5. Put tax deadlines on your calendar. Out of sight, out of mind, right? One of the absolute easiest filing tips is also one of the most effective. Many companies can decrease the amount of money they spend on business taxes simply by paying closer attention to taxes during the year. Let's get out of our mind that tax season comes up once a year. Let's believe that tax season is all year round, because do you only want to save taxes at one part of the year, or do you want to save it all year long? And if you miss a tax deadline, I got to tell you, folks, that's going to cost you money in penalties, interest. It just gets too expensive. So make sure that you put those on your calendar. I have a at-a-glance big desk pad calendar hanging on my wall, and my tax dates are written on it. You don't have to be a genius to do this stuff. All you have to do is be practical. By the way, the tax calendar, or the calendar, cost me about $5.99 at Office Depot. It's a tax deduction for my business too. So it's not even costing me anything to do these things. It just takes a little bit of application of the information. The IRS has some tools available, but you can do your own. It can be as simple as what I just shared with you. So number 5, put tax deadlines on your calendar. Number 6, hire a professional accountant. I'm not just saying that because that's what I do for a living, right? It's not because I come from an accounting background. It's because I work with small business owners. And to be honest with you, without being insulting at all, most small business owners that I've met never went into business to do bookkeeping. I know that's a big surprise, right? As a matter of fact, just think about it to yourself. Did you get into business to do bookkeeping? Is that what you look forward to? Probably not. And if you didn't get into business to do accounting and tax prep, then you shouldn't be doing it. Hire a professional to do this. Okay? An experienced and reliable accountant is one of the cornerstone team members of any successful company. And seeing as you don't necessarily have to pay an accountant on staff full time, you can bring them on solely for their purpose, for their knowledge and their services. They can do the things for you that are going to save you time and money because it's not your expertise. I mean, I go to tax symposiums. I read tax law. I know it sounds crazy. I read tax law before I go to bed. It's what I do. But if you as a business owner, that's not what you're doing. Really, if you hired an accountant and they worked for you and they got it right about 30% of the time, how long would you keep them? Well, how right do you think you are as a business owner for the tax laws and tax law changes? If you're right about 30% of the time and you would fire me for that, then why are you keeping yourself hired in that position? Get a professional in here to help you. By the way, there's no reason not to seek an expert to prepare your taxes. I'm watching these commercials up. Oh, we got free software. Free software is one of the biggest traps out there because if you don't know to ask the question, if you don't know the rule, you click the box that says, nope, this doesn't apply to me, and just thousands of dollars just went out the door for you. Have somebody that knows your business. Have somebody that knows the tax law changes and is staying up with them. As a contract trainer with an accounting background, I can help you because I know the changing tax law, and I understand the contract training business. Folks, I'm not making this a commercial for me, but I'm just one of the many qualified individuals that's out there. If you're watching this video, I'm trying to show you just some of the things that I already know, and some of these things might help you. You can visit me at intotheblackaccounting.com or myquickbooksexpert.com. They're the same business, it's just two different divisions because not everybody uses QuickBooks. So there you go. And yes, we would love to help you with your tax preparation and with your accounting. Tip number 7, Medicare and healthcare. What if you could convert your medical costs from personal expenses to legitimate business expenses? You can. The problem with so many contract trainers is they take their medical expenses and they try to itemize. And in 2018, the federal government changed the itemization rules. They doubled them or nearly doubled them. And from 2017 to 2018, there were 30 million taxpayers that could itemize in 2017 that can't in 2018. And in 2019, it's getting even worse, right? So what happens is when you are doing your Schedule A, first of all, as a married couple, you have to have $24,400. If you're single, $12,200 just to itemize. Then you have to have more than 10%. Your medical expenses have to come to more than 10% of what's called your adjusted gross income, your AGI. And that's before you can start to deduct the first penny. But what if? What if you could start deducting every dollar you paid on medical health care as a legitimate business expense? You have a better option. Why? Because you're a business owner. Not only are you a business owner, you are a home-based business owner. So let's talk about that just a little bit more. How can you qualify for this huge deduction? There are 2 ways to become eligible, and they both require you to operate a for-profit business, even if it's on a part-time basis. By the way, if your business shows a loss, this isn't going to help you as much, but it has to be a for-profit business, right? And you have to have exactly 1 employee, not 0 employees, not more than 1 employee. 1 employee. As a contract trainer, you have some options on how you can do this. Remember, picking your business structure is important. So you can do this by being a sole proprietor and hiring your spouse as a part-time employee. Now you have to do a little bit more than that, but this is the way it works, right? You set them up and that you, the business, are going to take care of your employees' medical expenses 100% and their family. Well, look at that. You're the business owner, the employee's your spouse, you're their family, and now you just got your medical expenses taken care of. Is that pretty super or what? I think that's phenomenal. Okay? Or if you incorporate subchapter S corporation, hire yourself as your only employee and take care of your finances that way. These are 2 ways to get your medical health care, eliminate the threshold, eliminate the standard deduction, and start deducting every penny. If you're not doing this, you're just kind of working against yourself, okay? Tip number 8. Qualified Business Income Section 199A. This is a very fancy way. In a nutshell, what it does is it allows most pass-through entities to pay 20% less on all qualified income. Most, not all, right? There are some restrictions. That's what I'm hinting at. And let's define some terms. What is a pass-through entity? I realize I have some folks on here. They didn't go to school for accounting, right? You're not tax folks. So a pass-through entity is identified through the IRS. The term is a sole proprietorship, an LLC, a partnership, S corporation. And all it means is that the business structure itself, the entity, the taxes are flowed to the business owner's personal return. That's what a pass-through entity is. So a sole proprietor, an LLC, that's taxed as a sole proprietor, or an S corporation, partnership, S corporations, all those qualify. Well, now that we understand what a pass-through is, let's talk about who cannot qualify for this 199A deduction. If you're a pass-through entity and you qualify for both of these conditions, right? If you're the owner of the business that is a pass-through entity and your total income from all sources reported on your tax return is no higher than $157,500 as a single or $315,000 as a married couple, you qualify. So that's one of the limitations that you have to look like, right? But you have to qualify for both of these conditions. So if you're less than that, you're in great shape. If your business is classified as a special trade or business. So let's take a look at those. What is a special trade or business? IRS statute 1202E3A. It's not well defined, but it does give some general information. So let's take a look at the 14 different business types that are specialty trades. Healthcare, accounting, consulting, investing, partner interests, legal services, actuarial sciences, athletics, brokerage services, commodities, architecture, performing arts, financial services, securities. Hey, wait a second. That acknowledgement, number 5, way back in the beginning of this, when we started this thing, you're in sales. This is a sales business. Sales is not listed in here. That means if you have a home-based business and you've made less than $157,000 or the $314,000, you qualify. That means they take 20% right off the top. So if you made $100,000 this year in profit, you're only paying taxes on $80,000. How cool is that? So that's tip number 8. We're in the sales business, and that makes you qualified. Tip number 8. Moving on, let's talk about tip number 9. Personal vehicle deductions. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Let's get a little bit more into it because there's some stuff you got to do in order for it to count. Your vehicle probably represents one of your largest monthly expenses between the lease payments, auto insurance, fuel repairs, license, registrations fees, just washing, waxing, all those things coming together. However, in all likelihood, it also represents one of your largest sources of potential tax savings. So finding a way to legally write off a significant portion of your automobile costs represents major tax saving opportunity for you. And here's the IRS regulation right there for you. Now, a lot of eligible taxpayers skip over this deduction because they think the record keeping is just too hard. Little do they know how easy it really is. It's strict. But it's very easy. So let's look at the requirements for personal vehicle deductions. You get to take a deduction for a single use, every single use of your personal vehicle for business purposes. The IRS simply wants to know your answers to 4 questions. This is what you have to be able to provide proof for. What was the date of the business travel? Where were you going? Why were you going there for business? And how far away was it? Asked another way, I need the date, the destination, the primary purpose, and the miles driven. Not hard at all, folks. Right? This is a logbook you keep in your car, and you write it all down, and you just keep track of it. Now, there are apps out there that can help you do this, that you can get in touch with. There's stuff that you can do if you're using the QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online actually has something in there when you go from one place to the next. It'll track your mileage with your phone. Amazing, right? So just another great thing to do. I was showing that to a friend of mine the other day, and it just blew him away. He didn't even know that was in there, and he's been a QuickBooks user for years. Right? So these are just simple things. Number 9, personal vehicle deductions. Let's try to quantify this just a little bit. You get in 2019 for 2019, you get $580 in tax deductions for every 1,000 miles you drive. Not taking this deduction is like throwing a $1 bill out the window every time you drive 2 business miles. Right? Think of it this way. Every time you fill up your tank, that's a potential $200 deduction. So that's what your vehicle is costing you if you're not taking advantage of this. If you're not just filling out, go get a little notebook, a little notepad, a little steno pad. Keep it in the car. If you're carrying a tablet and a smartphone, you can get onto Excel and do it all that way too, as long as you have what the IRS needs. Thousands and thousands of dollars in this. I live 54 miles away from the airport. Every Sunday, My wife and I drive out 54 miles to drop me off. And then she comes back. So that's 108 miles. And on Friday night or Saturday, she drives 54 miles to come pick me up and 54 miles to bring me home. Right? So that's 216 miles every week. Just do the math. How much money that really comes to at 58 cents a mile. Right? And how many weeks are you out? 30, 20, right? It's just money you're throwing away if you're not doing it. If you put 10,000 miles on your car in 2019, that's $5,800 in new additional deductions that you don't have to pay taxes on. Right? This is your business. We want you to run it your way. I just want to make you aware of how many deductions are out there. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2018 stripped away so many deductions for the W-2 employee, right? The person that goes to work and they're losing money. But you as a business owner, right? We don't choose to do things the easy way. The easy way is to just be a W-2 employee for somebody else. We choose to make it harder because we want more. We deserve more. Well, this is the time to start to take what you deserve. Just simple things like that. Personal business deductions. Let's move on to number 10. Never take another vacation again. Now, that's not so much a warning, but it is a smart thing to do. If you're a business owner, the tax code says anytime your work requires you to sleep or rest away from your principal place of business, that can be your home, you may deduct reasonable travel and related expenses such as meals, hotel, rental car, tips, and here's the IRS statute and the revenue rulings that go with it. It's in black and white. It's there for you. Right? So once we understand the rule, you have to understand, you have to meet the IRS 3-part test. You have to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. The travel must be usual and customary. Folks, we're contract trainers. 48 states. I've been to 48 states. The only 2 I'm missing are Hawaii and Alaska. The only 2 I'm missing. Right? It's usual and customary. I'm always someplace else. And some runs, some swings, I'm in 2, 3 states in 5 days. So travel is what we do. The travel must be conducted with the intent to obtain a direct business benefit. Hey, guess what? You are submitting an invoice to your Semco company, to your customer, every time you're out in these different places. Your intent is to get paid. That meets that. So we met the second part of the 3-part test. And then the travel must be appropriate and helpful to developing and maintaining your business. So when you're not out on the road, you don't get paid, right? So this is what we do. We meet the 3-part test. Now, there's one other thing we do have to talk about because let's say you got to go to Hawaii this week, right? But you want to stay an extra few days. So they fly you out there on Sunday. You teach all the way to Friday, and then you want to stay another week. Well, that might not get you there. You might have to leave Thursday, right? So you stay, and I'll show you why. You must meet the 51-49% transportation rule. For U.S. travel, when you combine business with personal travel, tax code allows you to deduct 100% of your travel costs in addition for most lodging and meals if you meet the condition that the primary purpose of your trip was business and more than half of your days away qualify as business days. And here's your IRS ruling for that. So let's make sure that if you're going to make the stay, you are out there for business longer than for pleasure, and it becomes 100% write-off. I'm not saying don't go on vacation. That's not what that means. What I'm saying is you can take a business trip and combine it with personal and write 100% off as a business deduction, right? Think about that for a minute. Plane fare, all that good stuff, all deductible. Lodging, everything. Just one trip. How much would you save? Okay? Those are the 10 tips I wanted to share with you. I hope that you found them. I hope that you found this video informative. I hope that you found some tax savings that made it worth your time. And then I hope that you'll come to me when you're ready for the things that you do. Now, these are just 10 tax hacks. They're just the tip of the iceberg. There are many, many more, but these are the ones that are going to affect most of us in what we do. There's a book out there that I deal with, and actually there's a lot of stuff, but there's a book out there that I deal with all the time. And if you'd like to get a copy of the book with the additional tax tips, just click the button below that says tax tips, and we'll get that out to you. I do want to share with you, if you're setting up your QuickBooks, or if you want the video sheet, or if you're looking for your tax prep done, folks, click those buttons. We can help you out. If you want your QuickBooks set up, we're really cutting you a fantastic thing right now, where the only thing we're charging you is for the subscription of QuickBooks. That's all we're charging you for. That's a monthly subscription. It's $70. We do that for you, right? You pay us for that. We will set you up with the chart of accounts, the custom list, the vendor list, the item list. We will set you up with the QuickBooks, and that alone is a $97 value. I have folks come to me all the time. Can you set up my QuickBooks? $97. I set it up all the time. Then we'll also put you in touch with the QuickBooks for Contract Trainers video course, which is 12 videos and a cheat sheet, which says, well, today's an outbound travel day, watch this video. Today's a seminar day, watch this video. Today's an inbound travel day, watch this video. There's 12 videos to watch total, but you don't watch them all at once. It's not like watching an epic movie. They're broken down to 3 or 4 or 5 minutes each to get you the stuff that you need. It's all stuff, no fluff, and it's going to help you run a better business. We sell that training course for $197. So you're getting the setup for $97, $197 for the training course. Then we also are going to give you the travel per diem sheet so that you can fill out all your cities, look up the MIE, put it all in there, see how much money it's saving you in taxes quickly and easily. We're also going to give you a goal planning worksheet. How much money do you want to make as a contract trainer? Put in how many days you want to be out on the road. Put out how much money you want to make. It will tell you how much you need to sell per day, every day, in order to make that happen. So it's kind of a great goal planner for you. We give you that. We also give you the daily commission calculator so that you know how much commission you're making on the sales that you do each and every day. So you know how much money you're making. You know when you're achieving your goals. All right. So we give you all of those things in there. As part of it. That is, well, plus you're going to get this video, and you're going to get the printout of this. And we just put a price on that of $197, knowing that just this video alone can save, using one of these hacks can save you $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. You're getting 10 of them in here, right? So we just said for $197 for that. You're getting all of that for just $97. I'm sorry, for just $70, just $70. And that's the fee that goes to QuickBooks. You're using my affiliate link. You're paying them what you would pay them anyway, but we're giving you all these extra bonuses. So please give us a call. We'll do everything that we can. All of the links can be found down below this video. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have a business that you would like to make sure it's in the black, well, then get in touch with me. I'm Scott Barhold. My number is here on the screen, 321-544-5787. You can contact me through intotheblackaccounting.com, myquickbooksexpert.com, my phone number. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Folks, if you got some great stuff off this video, post it out on the Facebook page. That there's great stuff in here for you to learn, to gain, and to benefit from. Other than that, I will see you on the other side. This is Scott Barhold, your profit and growth expert. Have a great day.